I want to bring in an extra guest, the former Democratic congressional candidate, Brianna Wu, who is also a trans woman. Brianna, welcome to Uncensored. Yeah. I can't think of anyone better qualified, given you're the only trans member of the panel now, to respond to what our two liberal friends are saying.
I'll be trans if you'll give me a chance to talk.
You've had so many shows.
There's something
on trans
actually
people,
there. There's something there, Dave.
It's always some gay person that's talking on our behalf. So I'm really excited today to talk about how everyone here is wrong. Yeah, David, I love your show. I consider you a friend.
I can't be wrong.
You and the Democrats are completely wrong about what trans people need. We don't need you advocating for, trans vaginoplasties in prison. We need to retreat back to the basics of what we need, which is HRT and healthcare. And the problem is the Democrats have been captured by this fringe left that's redefined what trans means to all this non-binary nonsense and all this stuff that has nothing to do with how we got our rights in the first place. Ben, you can appreciate this. I was the first trans person to ever transition at Ole Miss, our alma mater. That was very, very different. It was 20 years ago, toddy. And the thing is, the way I got equality and got people to respect me in Mississippi was not by screaming at them or lecturing them about my pronouns. It was getting them to see my humanity. This is something trans people have just completely lost. And the problem is the Democratic Party is unwilling to call out these bad actors. And because of this, we are having a conversation that does not serve trans people. Piers, I am begging you on this show, stop inviting these stupidest leftists on to make the argument for trans civil rights. Let some people actually understand this stuff. And Dave is laughing because you understand integration as a gay man. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've done the same playbook your whole career.
Well, this
works. This is
first
how you
off,
got
I'm only gay. I'm only gay starting at 10 p.m. What time is it? We'll have to check on that. But actually, you're completely right. Brianna, you're completely right. What's happening with the left is that these saviors, these progressive warriors that you see in these boxes here, think that they know more about these people than they know about themselves.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And by the way, this has nothing to do with a well-funded evil money machine that the Republicans were doing. There's something called boys and girls. And
Rubin's the right guy to talk about that, isn't he?
Most parents, oh God, you're such a smug prick. Listen, most parents actually want to defend their daughters and don't want them.
Wow. Did David Pakman just get absolutely gobsmacked, folks? I mean, that was like the velvet glove, the velvet hammer. David Rubin just literally called David the Pakman a smug little prick. I think he's actually a smug little mousy prick, but literally David Rubin went and all David the Pakman could do is give that little mousy smile and a and I mean, it was classic. Now I have to just basically comment a little bit on what Brianna was talking about. And this is what happens, folks. She is exactly saying from her heart. And you know what? I will, if I met Brianna, she has fully transitioned. So I'm not going to stand there and basically say that I would not call her. She has done what she felt that, she had to do, and she did it. And it's been decades, and I don't know much of her story. But what she's pointing out here is that it is white liberals like Brian Austin Green of 90210 and David the Pakman that feel that they have to take on all of the problems of the plantations that they put these people on. You see, Brianna is on a plantation. And she's basically saying, I don't want to be on the plantation. I don't need you white liberals to fight my problems. I can fight them myself. I don't need you to speak about trans issues because you're not trans, but I am. So let me speak. Give me the forum. Give me the podium. Give me the microphone. That's what she's looking for. So she says, I can fight my own battles. She's been fighting her whole life so that people look at her humanely, give her a piece of humanity. That's what she's looking for. And it's elitist, social justice warriors every single day. David the Pakman and Brian Austin Green of 90210. I know he's Brian Taylor Cohen, but I call him Brian Austin Green. Are you sure that he wasn't on 90210? Anyways, these guys, what they do is every single day they wake up, they go to their drawer, they take out their halo, they polish it really nice and shiny, and stick it behind them. And they walk around all day with their halos and their virtue signaling. And what Brianna is saying is she doesn't need any of that. Anyways, folks, let's get back to more of the conversation.
To have the crap kicked out of them by boys, and they don't want them to be playing boys in soccer or any of these other things. That is a defense of girls. If someone, as an adult, 18, 21, we can discuss the age, wants to dress how they want, have any surgeries, take whatever drugs, do whatever they want with their body, most people, even Republicans, don't object to that. And I have no problem referring to Brianna as she, because I can clearly sense she would treat me with respect and I'll treat her with respect. And it's a two-way street rather than pandering and bowing to a bunch of people that could not give a crap about anybody else.
Absolutely true.
Hang on. Let me bring in David Pakman again, because you were very quick when I asked how you felt about being so wrong about this, to accuse me of being misleading, disinformation, misconstruing a United Nations report. So because we're a very nimble team here, while you were talking, they just went and double-checked, because I was curious what you were talking about. And we found, we found the United Nations report. And it's not...
I'll just give you a little background here, folks. This is what David the Pakman does. He lies all the freaking time. And there's lies of omission that this guy does. And I do it. I've gone through his videos. And I have absolutely just completely demolished David the Pakman on his lies of omission. Check out what Piers is going to basically do live on his show. He's literally, again, going to call this smug little prick and gobsmack him a couple of times and basically say, what you were talking about previously, you were lying, David the Pakman. You were lying. And he fact checks him live. And David knows it, and still won't admit to it. Watch, continue.
It's a footnote, as you said. It's page 5 of the report. It says, and I quote, the United Nations says nearly 900 biological females have fallen short of the podium because they were beaten out by trans athletes. The findings were compiled by the UN's Rapporteur on Violence Against Women, entitled Violence Against Women and Girls in Sport. The report said more than 600 athletes didn't medal in more than 400 competitions in 29 different sports, totaling over 890 medals.
Folks, take a look at that right now. 890 medals. And you'll have David the Pakman saying, it's just a tiny little issue. Nobody gives a shit about it in America. You guys, okay, the Republicans, you conservatives, you bad people, you're the ones that make it an issue. Brian Austin Green of 90210 says it was a $250 million, $250 million disinformation campaign. You guys, you conservatives, what are you doing? All I have to tell both of these elitists, these snobs, these virtue signaling fraudsters, is that I don't give a damn if it was 890 medals, 8,900 medals, 89 medals, 8 medals, even 1 effing medal. There is some girl out there across the United States of America or around the world that was working her butt off training every single day, putting in the hours, doing everything that she could do, and her family, and her parents, and significant others. You know what's going on when these children want to compete in athletic events, and some of them want to go on to top levels. Some of them are getting up early in the morning, driving hours. The parents are scraping together money to find a coach or a tutor or somebody to train them. And so somebody goes, well, you know, it's just a couple of places happens. Oh, it's happening like in elementary school, high school, whatever. It's not a big deal. Or even a college level. Do you guys hear yourselves? Are you guys that effing stupid? Are you that effing retarded? I don't understand. You guys say you stand for women's rights, girls' rights. But where are those women's and girls' rights in their athletic rights? So they're training like crazy. And then they have to face a biological male, a biological boy that's got a DICK and 2 balls hanging with the sack. And they've got to compete against him. And then they lose. And you guys think that's okay, even if it happens to one person? That's why you guys are losing. That's why you'll never understand the freaking culture wars. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
The replacement of the female sports category with a mixed sex category has resulted in an increasing number of female athletes losing opportunities, including medals, when competing against males, the report said. So, David, again, would you like to now apologise for being not only wrong about this being an election,
was lying.
but being wrong about your correction when I asked you if you were sorry for being wrong?
Look at the underlying source, Piers. I have it printed out
it was
in
a
the other room.
It wasn't a
Look
footnote.
at the underlying source. Now, I do want to say one thing about this. I actually agree with a lot of what Brianna and what Dave Rubin said. I actually agree with it. I am not the savior here to do X, Y, or Z for.
That's such bullshit. You come on your shows and you polish your goddamn halo, and you always advocate for these groups that are you put on your own Democratic plantation. And all you guys, some of them realize they've been duped now, but many don't realize they've been duped. And that's an acronym that I've coined. DUPED. It stands for the Democratic Utopian Plantation for the Expansion of Dependency. That's what you guys are doing. You are duping these intersectionality groups, and you place them on your own Democratic plantations, and you dupe them because you hopefully that they'll depend upon you for everything, for food, for water, for clothing, for education, for housing payments, for health, you name it. And if you have a permanent class or continue to have a permanent underclass that is dependent upon you, and they're going to stay on that plantation and you fence them in, you hope they stay there. Would give them just enough to stay on your plantation. Because anytime any of them leave, you guys turn on them big time.
Trans people. What I'm saying is I don't actually think I even need to play that role. I don't think this is the issue that maybe
you do it every goddamn day.
So I agree with a lot of what Dave Rubin and Brianna said there. I do think it's important to consider that when Dave Rubin talks about well-funded this or that, his Russian money source just dried up, and he's the last person who should be talking about funding sources. And to be honest, Dave,
here we go again. Russia, Russia, Russia. Who gives a crap where you're getting your money from unless it's illegal, you smug little prick?
Hold on a second. Hold on. Now Ben's jumping. Everybody's jumping. Hold on a second. I can't even hear. Why would Ben jump in? I'm not even addressing Ben.
Hang on. You made a very direct charge against Dave Rubin. Let Dave Rubin reply to that.
No one believes your BS anymore. Jesus Christ, these people are
They've
so
been
pathetic.
indicted, Rubin. The tenant media people were
I got
indicted.
indicted.
He was not indicted. And it said in the report, if you weren't a smug prick, to quote him
I
earlier,
didn't say
the
Rubin was
report
indicted. I just said the money
explicitly
dried
says
up.
that Dave Rubin and the others involved did not know about it. And this is why people think you're kind of a jackass.
Yes, this
because
is why
Yes!
everyone hates
You're putting
progressives.
words in my
This
mouth,
is the
Ben.
reason why
Piers,
Ben, he's not a jackass. He's a damn jackass. Ass.
you read the report. And by the way, Pakman, if
Yeah,
this happened
thank
to
you.
you, and in the
Ben's
report it
coming
said
to
you
his
were
defense.
unaware, if it said that you were unaware, I would defend you because I don't think you indict people for things.
I'm
When the federal
defending
government
Dave.
says in the
I'm
indictment,
defending Dave Rubin.
in the indictment,
I'm
that
defending
they
him.
had no
If that's defending somebody, holy crap. Please, David the Pac-Man, I'm begging you. I'm begging you, baby. I'm begging you, bruh. If that's called defending somebody, you just brought up by innuendo that the Russian money dried up. And then you go, oh, I'm not indicting him. It was an indictment. I'm defending him. Holy crap. If that's your way of defending people, please, David the Pac-Man, stay the F away from me. They don't need you. They have better people that can defend them. They don't need smug little pricks like you doing that.
knowledge of the money where it was coming from. So don't be a
I'm
jackass.
defending
Just
Dave
be
on
a
that
jackass.
note. But the
Pac-Man,
money dried
Pac-Man,
up.
Pac-Man,
You're
Okay,
being a
that's
you
tool,
are
man.
you
That's
are
great.
no
Can we
real
talk about
Pac-Man,
trans
which I'm
people?
quite good
Can we
at.
get back to
You know,
this about
there's
this
a
left
reason,
versus right
Piers. There's a
spirit
reason
match?
that everyone there's a reason that everyone hates progressives, and the reason that everyone hates
This is why they
progressives,
lost.
it's not just that they're wrong about all of the issues and they
They're
will
full of
lie and
shit.
their only real goal is power. It's because they're also smug elitists.
Yes.
And Pac-Man, did see online the other day you were crying because your audience is purging you and you're running out of subscribers and you're
Let's
in a
talk about
doom loop
that.
and the reason is no one gives Piers, pardon me, a shit about this woke
Yes,
bullshit anymore.
yes,
We've
so
had
true.
it, and now you guys can sit back and be quiet. You want to talk about people being paid for their ideas?
Just let
The
me address
left,
this.
it's you people who have had the entire cultural machine for 20 years. You've had all of entertainment. You have had all of Hollywood. You have had all of music. You've had all your P. Diddy parties and Epstein and everything else. And now
And don't
enough
forget
of
all the
us
money
have
they just
had
played
it.
to
So
Beyonce.
crawl back into your
Hold on a
little
second.
irrelevant cave. It's time, bro.
Man, oh man, David Pac-Man got absolutely lit up, folks. Lit up. First, he gets called a smug little prick by David Rubin. Then he gets called a jackass several times by Ben Ferguson. Then Brianna tells him and Brian Austin Green of 90210 that she doesn't need elitist liberal white guys to fight her battles and trans issues. And then finally, and then to add insult to injury, Piers basically says, you were lying about the report from the United Nations where you just said it was a tiny little footnote about the medals that girls were losing to biological males. So Piers goes, his crack crew, they're not on crack, they're just really intelligent. We're fact-checking David the Pac-Man in real time and came back to basically say, are you going to apologize for lying about what you're doing? And David the Pac-Man slithered away like the smug little prick snake that he is and never answered the question, knowing full well that he was lying to begin with. Wow, wow, wow. Loved it. Anytime the David the Pac-Man can get smacked around and gobsmacked and to be shown that he's lying and that he's a smug little prick, priceless, folks, priceless. Anyways, you've been watching the Dr. Nasser Shake Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasser. Hope you enjoyed this as much as I did in making it. If you did, we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and follow us. You all know what to do. Take a look at the 4 other links that we have for our videos. They're right there in front of you. Put a comment down below. What'd you think? Do you think that he's a smug little prick? Or are you on the David the Pac-Man side? It's okay if you are. Just want to know. Share your comments. My final thought is always, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. Until next time, folks, y'all take care and stay safe.